So the next thing you need to realize is whether it is positive or negative. So if you have positive correlation, I want you to think about slope. We learned about slope last semester, and we are always looking from left to right, what is happening with those dots. So from left to right, our dots are going upward, right? If they're going upward, they're going in the positive direction. So that would be a positive correlation. Looking at the next one, we have negative correlation. So from left to right, our dots are going in a downward fashion. So that would be negative correlation, just like slope. From left to right, if it's going up, that's going to be positive. From left to right, if it's going down, that's going to be negative. Okay. No correlation means there is no relationship between the variables. If you notice here, the dots are all over the place. There's no way I could draw a line anywhere. Okay. That would be no correlation. All right. So when we describe the correlation between a graph, we're going to say whether it's strong or weak. And then we're going to say whether it's positive or negative. The other option, if it's neither of those, would be no correlation. Okay. So it just depends what we're seeing. So let's look at this first graph. It says identify the type of correlation in the scatter plot. So looking at this, if I wanted to draw my line there, all my dots are pretty close together. So I'm going to say that this is strong because those dots are pretty close together. And then is it going up or down from left to right? Well, from left to right, we are going down. So that means it's going to be strong and negative. So this would be a strong negative correlation. Okay, looking at these three, A, we see dots all over the grass. So in the chat, I want you to let me know what kind of correlation do you think is in A? Is it strong positive, weak positive, strong negative, weak negative, or is there no correlation at all? Looking at graph A, what do you think? Again, this is not your assignment. This is just some practice problems. Looking at A, those dots are scattered all over the place. Sorry, we are just looking at this graph here, and I want to know what kind of correlation do you see? Good, Ella. Good, Suhaima. Good, Teresa. This one is going to be no correlation. What about B? Okay, first you need to determine, is it strong or is it weak? Then you need to determine positive or negative. So if I drew my line here, all of those dots are pretty close to that line, so that tells me it's going to be strong. And then from left to right, it's going down, so that's going to be negative. So it's going to be a strong negative. Looking at the next one, it's kind of flipping, right? It's kind of flipped to the last one. So this one, those points are all pretty close together. So again, this one's going to be strong. And this time we're going up. So if we're going up, that's going to be a strong positive. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pull up Unit 6, Assignment 11. And just a reminder for you guys, at the end of this assignment, as soon as we complete it together, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to take your screenshot and upload it onto Buzz. If you do that, you are going to get the extra credit for the assignment. If you do not do that, then you will not get the extra credit. So at the end of this assignment, as long as you work through it with us and then post your score on Buzz, you will get that extra credit. So as long as I see that it's submitted at the same time I tell you guys to submit, you'll get that extra credit. All right, so let me know in the chat when you guys are ready to go, or you can just give me a thumbs up reaction, whatever's easiest for you guys. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Samaya. Thank you, Saima. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll give you guys about another minute. Yes, Teresa, that's fine. I would just make sure that you're writing down what we put so that you are able to get the correct answers. Okay. All right. 15 more seconds. Go ahead and get that assignment. Um, Max, yes. If you can send me an email to remind me, send me an email to remind me, and I will do that for you. Okay. So we are creating a scatter plot. So if you look at this table, this X and this Y represent the first point. So we need to put a point at 1, comma 3. So we're going to pick up one of these points and move it to 1, 3. It should be about right there. And it should show you where you are dropping that point. You're going to drop it at 1, 3. The next point is at 3, 7. So you're going to pick up that next point, this one here, pick it up, and you're going to move it to 3, 7 right there. And yesterday we saw that some people had the same points as me and some people had different ones. Make sure you're following this pattern with whichever points you have on your question. I'm not sure why some of them are different, but just pay attention to the numbers that are showing up for you. So the next point for me would be at 5, 11. So I'm going to go over to 5, up to 11. And then I'm going to go to 17. So go over to 7, up to 15. And then for my last point, I'm at 9, 17. If you're just entering, we are working on Unit 6, Assignment 11. This is the first question. So if you want to quickly log in, and you can pick up right here. So I'm going to plot a point at 9, 17. And from there, you should have all those points on your graph. And I can come back to this in a minute for those of you who just came in. For now, let's jump to question 2. There's only 2 questions on this assignment. So once we get done and people are submitting on Buzz, I'll go back to that other one so you can look at it if you need. Okay, the following table shows the number of traffic accidents associated with a sample of drivers of different age groups. So 2A says, which of the following scatter plots correctly represents the above data? So we're looking at these scatter plots. We want to see which one has the same data. So I'm going to pick this first point here. We've got age and accidents. So age is down on the bottom and accidents is on the side. So at the age of 20, we had 41 accidents. It looks like that point right there. So this one so far is good. Let's see if the next graphs have that same point at 20, 41. This one does not have it, so that can't be the graph. This one, 20, 41, does not have it, so that also cannot be the graph. So this one has to be the one that looks like that. Okay, from here, we got to answer 2B. It says, is the correlation between a person's age and the number of accidents they are involved in positive or negative? So, looking at that graph that we just picked out, we've got a trend going like this. Okay. So, are those points going up from left to right or are they going down from left to right? Good, Ella. Good, Suhaima. They're going down. So, what does that mean? Is it a positive relationship or a negative relationship? Good, negative. All right, 2C is the correlation between a person's age and the number of accidents they are involved in, strong or weak. Okay, so now we're looking at those points. Are they pretty much in a straight line? They're going down and they're pretty much going in the same direction. They're pretty close together. What do we think? Strong or weak? Good, Suhaima. Good, good, good. Okay, this is going to be strong. Okay, those points are pretty consistent in their path. They're pretty close together. Okay, which age groups data represent an outlier? Okay, in order for something to be an outlier, it would need to appear way off of your trend. So way up there or way down here, these little red dots that I'm drawing, these would be considered outliers. We don't have any point like that, right? All of our points are pretty close on that line. So there are no outliers. The answer here would be none of them. Okay. At this time, I want you to take a screenshot of your score and upload the assignment on the Buzz, on the Buzz, on Buzz, so you can receive your extra credit. I have it open right now, so I'm going to see those coming in and grade them live time so you can see your scores go up. If you want me to go back to either of those two questions, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know in the chat. Okay, I already see three of your assignments here. And Max, I do see that you're turning yours in now, which is perfect because I did go ahead and give you your extra credit. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 1 more minute to get that screenshot uploaded onto Buzz. If you're having any issues, let me know. I can help you submit that if you need help. Thank you, Christian. Okay, about 30 more seconds for anyone still trying to get that submitted. I will, if you get it submitted in the next few minutes or within, honestly, within the rest of the class period, I will still give you that extra credit. I'm going to go ahead and move on to honor everybody's time. I don't want you guys just sitting there bored. Okay, so correlation and causation. So a correlation coefficient is the main thing we are talking about in this portion of class. So in this lesson, we're just mainly focusing on that correlation coefficient. Okay, and what the correlation coefficient is it's a number that tells you how strong your positive relationship is or how strong your negative correlation or your negative correlation is. So here we have this picture here, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger down here. Okay, so on this end we have -1, and on this end we've got +1. And in the middle, we're going to have 0. Okay, so when you have a correlation coefficient, it basically tells you how strong or how weak it is. So looking here, when you have a -1, when your correlation coefficient is -1, that's going to be a strong negative correlation. Can anyone guess what kind of correlation it'll be at +1? Exactly. Good job, you guys in the chat. Strong positive over here. Okay. If you look in the middle of that entire number line, so from -0.5 to +0.5, all of this in here are going to be weak correlations. What do you guys think might be at 0? Any guesses on what might be at 0? This one might be a little more tricky. What were the 3 types we had? We had positive correlation, we had negative correlation. Good, Suhaima. Anyone else? At 0, you're going to have no correlation. Okay, so then from -5 to 0.5, those are all weak. And then over here, you have like moderate, strong over on this side, obviously, and moderate over here. The moderate part, I don't think you really need to worry about. Here would be moderate. And over here again would be strong. So as you go from weak to strong, you have moderate right in the middle. The main thing you guys need to know is the difference between a weak and a strong. Okay? So we are going to go ahead and pull up assignment 12. We're already opening it up. I know that was a quick little lesson, but I think you guys can now capture the essence of this lesson. So go ahead and open up assignment 12. Let me know when you're ready, either in the chat or sending me a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, I liked that little explosive one. I don't know how you guys get them to do all the different things. I feel like when I do it, it just always says the same thing. Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and get started. So the table shows the number of fans sold at a store during the days of various temperatures. So you'll notice as the temperature is increasing, what's happening to the number of sales of fans? They're increasing. So as one increases, as the temp increases, fans sold also increases, right? So, and I don't think I actually covered this, and I meant to. Okay, if you have them both increasing, so if both of your variables are increasing, so this top one increasing, bottom one also increasing, that is going to be a positive relationship. Okay? If they're both increasing, that's positive. If you can't remember, you can always graph the points or start graphing them and see what's happening. If on the reverse, you have one increasing and one decreasing. So let's say as the temperature was going up, you were selling less fans. That would be negative. Okay. So I want you to just remember that if they're both increasing, that's positive. If one's increasing and one's decreasing, that's going to be negative. Okay. So for this one, we know that we are looking at a positive relationship. So it says consider the correlation coefficient for R for the temperature and the number of fans sold. What range will R be? So is it going to be zero? We know that there's some correlation and we know that it's positive correlation. So the R is not going to be zero. It's not going to be negative. It's going to be positive, right? So, oops, I didn't mean to cross that one out. I meant to cross this one out. So between these, which one would represent the positive numbers? Should R be greater than zero or should R be less than zero? For a positive relationship, it should be good, Max. It should be greater than zero, right? So we are looking at A. A is the correct answer because it's a positive relationship. Okay, is it likely that there is a causal relationship? So a causal means that one thing is causing the other. So if we're thinking about fans being sold and the temperature outside, if it's really cold outside, do you think anyone's going to buy a fan? Is anyone thinking about buying fans when it's cold outside? Probably not. So, correct. Good job, you guys in the chat. So, do we think the heat is causing people to buy fans? Good. Yes, the heat is causing people to buy fans, so this one's going to be yes. It is a causal relationship. Okay. For the graph depicted, choose the correlation coefficient. Okay. Draw your line from left to right. Is it going up or down? It's going up. So what does that mean? Is it positive or is it negative? Positive. Good job, you guys. So that means it's positive. And what correlation coefficient represents this is actually perfect, right? Because it's a perfect line. What correlation coefficient would represent a perfect positive? Good, Zaima. It's not going to be zero. Zero would be none. It would be no correlation. -1 would be negative. This one would be not perfect. +1 would be a perfect positive correlation. Okay, last question here. In a study, it was found that the correlation coefficient between time spent watching TV, so time spent watching TV is our first variable, and time spent exercising is our second. And the correlation coefficient was found to be negative 0.87, which is the most appropriate statement. So if it's negative, that means that as one increases, the other decreases. So it could be as TV increases, exercise decreases, or it could be as exercise. I always spell exercise wrong. Please don't judge me. As exercise increases, TV decreases. Okay, so Either one of those could be right. I know it's hard. It's got the C and the X and the S. There's too much going on. So just bear with me. All right, so let's look at these options that we have. It says, as time spent watching TV increases, the time spent exercising decreases. Does that sound like one of those options that I shared? One's increasing, one's decreasing, right? So that sounds right. I'm going to circle it for now. You guys can click the button, but let's just read the other ones just to make sure. I always like to read them just to make sure. As time spent watching TV increases, exercise increases. No, that would be a positive relationship, right? Those are both up. Okay, there's no evidence of a linear relationship between, nope, that would be a correlation coefficient of 0. So next, we're going to be doing the performance task. I am going to give you a few minutes to take your screenshot, submit this on Buzz. And then I'm going to put the link for the performance task in the chat so that you guys can pull that up. Yes, let me resend that. Link. Okay, perfect. All right, so once you get that assignment uploaded into Buzz, go ahead and open up the link that I dropped in the chat. And you're going to need to make a copy of the document. Oh, you know what? I think, yeah, make sure you make a copy of the document. Did that link work for you, Max? For some reason, I think I might have sent you a copy of my document. Okay. All right. Make sure you make a copy. Make sure you give me, turn the general access to Visions in Education and make sure I can edit it so that I can put your scores in when I go to grade it. Okay, when you are ready to go, let me know by saying ready in the chat or yes, Jaden, do you have a question?
I'm looking at my math app right now. I'm
Mhm.
not seeing unit 6, assignment 12, or any of the other ones that you were doing.
Okay, you're on Math Space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me pull it up. I'm going to make sure that they are out of order. Unfortunately, MathSpace, for some reason, does not put the tasks in order. So I'm just going to make sure that you are enrolled in the class, which I believe you should be. So I'll make sure you're enrolled in the correct class really quick. Yes, I do see you enrolled. I see you've completed some assignments. So you just might need to scroll down further. When you go to that assigned tab, you just might have to scroll down a little more.
Okay.
It would be nice if they put the assignments like in order. It'd make things a lot easier, but unfortunately, it's out of my control. Let me know if you still are not able to find it.
I just found it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm seeing those of you who are saying that you're ready in the chat. That's excellent. We'll give about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. And I do see your assignments coming in. So again, you are going to get those extra credit points if you are turning them in now. And those extra credit points really do help, especially if you maybe don't do as well on the tests or on those performance tasks, which you should do good on the performance tasks today since we're doing it together. But they do help, or like the math discussions, those points do help later on. So, okay. All right, it looks like I've gotten all the ones that came in graded. So we'll go ahead and get started on the performance task. All right, so we're talking about ice cream and coffee. Yum. Is anybody hungry right now or thirsty? I don't know. I already had my coffee today and I feel like it made me like a little bit anxious. Forgot breakfast. No. Okay, perfect. You should see it in Buzz, Suhaima. When you go to week 7, you should see performance task number 2 in Buzz. And that is where you're going to submit it after you complete the document. And I can show you guys that together if that's helpful for you guys after we complete the assignment. Okay, so a local cafe specializes in coffee, drinks, and ice cream treats. The owner looked at her sales for a 10-day period in April. Below is a table showing the sales for each of the 10 days. So we've got day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 1 says, what did they sell more of on day 6? Give your answer in a sentence. That's important. Make sure it's a full sentence. So looking at day 6, which one did they sell more of? They sold 36 of each, right? So neither would be the answer. And again, I think I spelled that wrong. It should be IE. So neither, they didn't sell more of either one. Okay, the next part, you guys have to use Desmos. So there's a little link right here on your document. There's a little link right here. You can click on that and it should open up for you. If that's not working, I just put another link in the chat. You guys will want to follow along right now because I know this can get a little bit confusing using the Desmos calculator. And I'm going to go ahead and share my computer screen because um, oops, why is that happening? Because I want to show you guys how to use Desmos. Okay. So when you open up the Desmos link, it should look something like this. In this first column where it says 1, you're going to type in the word table. As soon as I hit the E, this is going to change. So I just want you guys to see you're actually typing in the word table, and then it turns into a table for you. Okay, from there, you're going to fill the X1 column with the ice cream sales data. So you may have to refer back to that other document that you have. Our ice cream treats sold, the first day was 16. Then, oops, the next day was 19. And then 28. And then 27. And then 28 again. And then 36. And then 38. And then 41. 2 days in a row, it was 41. And then it was 48. Okay. And then we're going to go up to Y1 and we're going to fill that column with the coffee drinks sold. So we got 55 on day one, and then 43, and then 51, and then 46, and then 32, and then 36, and then 43, and then 25, and then 10, and then 33. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you got your table all filled in. Or if you need more time, you can also let me know I need more time. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, let me give you guys a little bit more time for that. I am seeing in the chat you need a little bit more. Okay, let's do about 30 more seconds filling in that table. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, here we go. Let's rock and roll. All right, so if you guys notice, I don't see any points on my graph right now, and you might not either. If you don't see any points, you need to hit this little zoom out button, this little minus, and zoom out, keep clicking until you can see all your points. Okay, now I can see all my points, and now I'm going to zoom back in because I want to be able to see that a little more clearly. Okay, from there, now you're going to go into the second box. So where it has this 2, and we're going to type something in. You can also copy and paste from your document. There's a part that you can copy and paste, or you can type along with me as I go. Okay, you're going to do Y and then the number 1. And then you need the little squiggly line, which means about, approximate. And then M, like Macpherson. Then you're going to do X1 plus B. Okay, and you'll notice that a line appeared on your graph. And also, you'll notice that there's some information that showed up down here in the corner. Okay, what you're going to do from this part here is take a screenshot. So I want to see your table, and I want to see this part, and I want to see the points and the lines. So when you take your screenshot and paste it into your document, I want all of this. Okay, so make sure you get all of that in your screenshot. And then you're going to paste it into your document in this little box down here. So you're going to paste it in there like that. Okay. Okay, yes, Jaden. Sorry, I'm just seeing your hand up right now. Or is that from earlier? Okay, we are going to, how do I get the lower number slash exponents? Ella, I'm not sure. Is it not showing the points down below the equation? If you just type in 1, if you type y and then hit the 1, it should just go down for you. So, or let me send you in the chat what you can copy and paste. Y1, no, lowercase y. Y1 equals mx1 plus b. Okay, you should be able to copy that and paste it into that line 2, and it should pull that up for you. Max, hopefully that helps you as well. If not, once we are done with the task, we can go back and we can do it together. I can help you guys like one-on-one if you need. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go back to here and we're going to fill out. Okay, so number 3 says inspect the regression parameters in Desmos. So this should be in your Desmos screenshot that you just posted. My M was negative 0.873 and my B was 65.512. And that just showed up right down below the equation that we typed in. Hopefully you guys were able to see that. And then number 4 says use the M and B values, it's talking about these ones up here, to write the equation of the LSR line to 3 decimal places. So remember, we write our equations in the form of y equals mx plus b. So we're going to plug m in for m and the b in for b. So y equals negative 0.873x plus our b value, which was 65.512. Okay, explain the relationship between the sales of coffee drinks and the sales of ice cream treats. So if you look at your graph, what's happening? Do we have a positive relationship or a negative relationship? As one increases, what happens to the other one? It looks like as the number of coffee sales increases, as the number of coffee sales increases, what happens to the ice cream sales? Do they increase or decrease? Good, Suhaima. Yeah, the number of ice cream sales decreases. So that is a negative correlation. As one increases, the other one decreases. Okay, number 6. Why do you think we might see this trend in sales? So, why do people buy ice cream? What's the temperature outside usually? Hot. And are people wanting coffee when it's hot? Yes, sometimes. Okay. What other? So if you think people might want coffee when it's hot, my thought was when it's hot outside, people are going to buy more ice cream than they're buying coffee. Is there something else you can think of that might cause that trend? What about when it's cold outside? Do people want more coffee than they want ice cream? Yeah, so if you think of a different reason why you might see the trend, you can write a different reason down. I'm going to write when it's hot out, people buy more coffee. Oh, sorry, more ice cream and less coffee. And then vice versa. When it's cold outside, people buy more coffee, less ice cream. Okay, and then the last equation, we are plugging in the values for x and solving for y. It says using the equation, this equation that we found, I just rewrote it on the side. Estimate the number of coffee drinks, those were our y values, sold on a day that 32x or 32 ice cream treats were sold. So we're just going to plug in this 32 for x and solve for y. So times 32 plus 65.512. I do not expect you guys to be able to do this in your head. You can do it on a calculator, and I'm just going to use the one on my phone here because it's the easiest for me. So I'm going to do 0.873, and I want the negative, times 32 equals, and then I'm going to add 65.512 to that. And we get y equals 37.576. So we got a decimal. So that means we are going to sell about 37.576 coffee drinks. Can I sell 0.576 coffee drinks? Nope. So we so we've got to round up, right? So let's round it up. So is approximately 38. So, um, on a day that 32 ice cream drinks are sold, or ice cream treats, the number of coffee drinks sold will be about 38. And you are done once you type that. So now you guys can go ahead and submit this on Buzz as well. If you'd like, I can show you where to find it and how to do that. Um, Let me go to my screen really quick. All right. So let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to go to Integrated Math 1B. All right, so you're going to scroll down to week 7 and you should see performance task, ice cream and coffee in week 7. So this is where you're going to submit. You can just copy and paste the link in here. So I think I used that same. Okay, so you would just copy the link to your document right here in this comments box and then hit submit and I'll be able to open it from there. Make sure you have given me the right to view and edit. Huh, that's not there for you guys? Interesting. Have several of you who can't see it. Okay, let me. Christian, you can see it in there? Let me stop sharing. Let me try and. Hmm. Do you guys see the performance task in week? Let's see, which week was the other one due? Okay, look in week 4 and let me know if you see the other performance task in week 4. Okay, Max, go ahead and just submit it under week 4's. And yeah, Suhaima, submit in week 4 as well. And Ella, go ahead and submit week 4 also. Because what's going to happen is you guys don't have to do the other performance task anyways, so I will just go in and fix that for you. But I am curious why some of you guys are not seeing it. Hmm. Okay, Ella, let me fix that for you. Hmm. Okay, you should be able to now, Ella, and then Suhaima, let me look at yours. Oh, you've already done the other one as well. Okay, well, oh, you know why? It's because I already excused them for you guys. If you guys, I can unexcuse it. Here we go. You should be able to see it now, Suhaima. Let me look at Gabby's. Uh, so what happened was if you completed the first one, I excused the second one. So Max, I'll fix yours as well in just a second. And you'll be able to submit. Okay, Gabby, yours should be fixed. Max, let me look at yours. Okay. All right. Those should all be fixed now. Max, yours should be good to go as well. Um, hmm. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to now let you guys know in the chat what assignments you need to be working on here during study hall. So give me just a second. I'm going to start Max since I have yours open right now. Let's see. All right, and I'm going to put in the chat the completed slides so that you can use those to complete those documents or those assignments that you haven't already completed. Okay, here's the document in the chat for anyone who has assignments that you still need to complete. Okay, and remember, if you complete assignments right now during study hall, you will get those 10 points of extra credit for each one that you submit right now. Teresa, let me see. Yes, I see it. I just haven't graded those. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what assignments everybody needs to be working on. Bye, Ella. So the practice test is completed in these documents that I'm sending you guys the link to. So I highly, highly recommend you utilize that document so you can go through the practice test and that'll prepare you to take the test. Rajan, did you see that I added you to the correct math-based class? You should be able to see your assignments there on math-based now. Okay, perfect. See you, Jaime. Okay, I'm going to put on some nice relaxing work music for us. Okay, and I'm here to answer any questions that you guys have. All right, Max, thank you. I will get you guys the extra credit that you need if you submit those assignments that I asked you to do. As you submit those, let me know. I will grade them and get you that extra credit so you can see your grade going up in real time. I'm gonna run really quick to the restroom. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. If you guys have any questions.